first things first, I'm just going to apologize to anyone watching that the coughing is going to happen frequently, and I will try my best to mitigate it as it happens.
What's the coughing from?
Can you get Corona through the mic?
I'm not sure. You can, I've heard, so you all have it now. Very, very sorry for everyone.
Great, thanks, Nate.
It's just the way it goes. Sorry, I'm actually not sorry at all.
I don't think she can hear.
Is she saying that she can't hear?
She says, "Wait, what are you saying? I missed that."
She probably just heard her name and wants us to rewind like 10 steps.
Yeah.
You're just gonna have to wait till it's published.
No idea what you didn't hear. Yeah.
Put it back. We'll get started. A couple of things to pick up where we left off. Last adventure, we did another quest for the town master of the city of Phandalin, Harbin Wester. After a uncomfortable reunion with one of the dwarves that you left behind, discovered that his cousin was in fact killed by the orcs, quite soundly and painfully, but through his charm that you weren't expecting, Sless was able to convince him that you did not see the orcs and didn't know that happened and felt very badly about it. You offered him a bottle of wine, which he consumed soundly, went to sleep, and then you all basically tried to catch him in the morning so that you could verify that your quest was completed with the town master. You all try to keep up and stay watch. Caduceus took the next watch after Sless. He fell asleep because it's Caduceus, and it didn't include carousing, drinking, or women. Or men, really, for him. And, right. And he fell asleep, and Daislin was able to escape. Well, not escape, but leave without you noticing. Luckily, he did talk to the town master and inform him that he is heading out of town. And he's going to try to go back to one of the big cities like Neverwinter to just figure out what to do with the rest of his life, because now he's alone and sad in the world. But you were undeterred and decided to collect your earnings, which you did. And Harbin Wester only gave you half of it, since you only brought back half a cousin, which was unfun. But again, you continued forward and you decided to take on a new quest. And the one that you decided seemed the most interesting was one that actually touched nearby to the city where you guys originated from, of Conaberry. It was to aid Big Al Calzorn, who was the sheriff of that city a while ago, and he created his own butter ranch and made what were called butter skulls, which was butter molded in the shape of culls, because novelty is cool, even in D&D. And you were able to rescue him from the onslaught of orcs that took over his ranch. After some fighting and sneaking, and nearly getting torn killed as he decided to leave by himself yet again. It seems to be his particular MO at this point. You were able to successfully fend off all the orcs, kill all the orcs, find Big Al hidden under in the cellar, chained up, and he demanded that you either kill off the rest of the orcs or help him find his prize cow Petunia. The good news is you had already killed off all the orcs and were able to prove that to him. And then you swiftly and luckily found Petunia within a matter of moments, really. It was quite easy for you. So you returned Petunia. Big Al was thrilled. Learning your lesson from the last time, you demanded that he write you a notarized letter, apparently, that you could show to the town master, which you were able to. You collected your earnings when you returned to the town of Phandalin, and then decided to get a couple of drinks at the Stonehill Inn once again. And then you essentially went to just kind of chill there for the rest of the day. You all took another long rest and woke in the morning ready to take in the next set of adventures as you'd like to at this point. So it is morning time. You've all woken up. It's like pretty early in the day, 8:30ish, let's say. And sun is coming through. You all wake in your individual rooms, and you're able to continue forward.
Good morning.
Good morning, ladies.
Good.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And you said we're back in our rooms, or we're like downstairs in the tavern?
Currently, you're in your
No, we're not
rooms.
done.
So in your rooms,
Oh.
it would be Sless, Seducius, and Torin, and Flux and Zendri share a room.
Are you playing Sleth, or Sleth is not here?
Currently, I will be playing Sless until we decide what to do with his body.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh my.
That's what happens if you can't make it on a Wednesday. Body bag.
A body bag!
Oh my god. Thorn and Celeste. Why don't we go check on the ladies and see if they're up?
Sure,
Knock,
whatever.
Knock.
That's fine.
Knock.
What do you want? Is that you? Get out. I've been knocking on this door all night.
Yeah. Go get us something to eat.
You let me in last time. What's the problem?
Yeah, well. We'll talk about that later.
I'm
We need
ready.
coffee and we
I'm
need food.
Well, why don't you come down? Let's all go get some food and figure out what we're gonna do today.
Alright,
Sure.
let's go.
All right,
Uh,
down we go.
you
Yeah.
guys go. I'm just gonna kind of hang back for a bit. I'm not feeling super great. I think maybe I'm feeling a little bit of regret about Daisy dying. So I'm just gonna recuperate a little bit if that's okay.
A little bit of depression, huh, Celeste?
That's the word for it, I guess. I don't know if I would say depression, but you know.
Well, that's fine. Take it from me. I deal with it all the time. There's only two things to get rid of that depression, right, Celeste? Okay, one is alcohol, and second is Helga. You can borrow her for the day if you want, all right?
I think I'm gonna pass. What's the term here? I don't want anything you touch. And then
Okay.
Slush just kind of goes back to like his side of the room and just goes back to bed.
All right, man. You're lost. See you later.
Yeah, fuck you too. Goodbye.
All right,
You
well-
all go downstairs into the main area of Stonehill Inn. There are, maybe unsurprisingly for some of you that kind of understand how small towns work, a pretty good amount of people here. They're getting ready for the day. This is one of the few like restaurant type places there. So if folks aren't making food at home as they're working, or if they've been working early and are getting like a little snack, this would be the place to go. The town Starbucks, so to speak, and everyone's getting their morning drinks. So they're in here, kind of getting some breakfast, and then going forward from there.
Are we getting breakfast?
Well,
Yes, please.
we'll-
Then
we'll-
we were gonna stock up on supplies or whatever.
We'll get a couple of Fandolin burritos over here. Go shopping.
Excuse me. So you go up to the counter. You don't. Maybe a little bit of disappointment in your face as you don't see Helga behind the tavern counter, kind of waiting on people. There is instead her young child yet again, kind of there taking orders from some, trying to keep up with all the pace. A couple of the serving people are kind of walking around really quickly, moving food in and out. And he's, oh, okay, yeah, I'll be right with you. Just give me a couple minutes. It's a little busy right now, but I'll be right back. And he kind of like totters off as he's like doing a million other things. You kind of see him like finally get a couple things out in place, and then he comes back and he's like, oh, okay, yes, what can I get for you? What do you need? Yeah.
Good morning, young man. How's your mom?
She's good, I think. She's great.
That's good to hear. Tell her Big S says hi, okay?
Oh, are you Seducius?
Yes.
It's me. Yeah.
Oh, she'll help you, and he just walks away. And like a serving girl comes around, and she goes, like, kind of confused, like, what the fuck's going? And then she sees you, and he's like, yes, what can I get for you?
You can get a couple burritos or something. What do you have for breakfast?
Eggs and a side of chicken if you'd like, and I can make you a coffee or an ale or, you know, traditional things that you would normally get at a tavern. It's like you've never been here before or something.
Uh, I'll have one of your morning ales and whatever else these guys want over here.
A morning ale. Okay. Can we just get 2 ales, please? She gets a couple ales. Praise Bar, is it just the 2, or do you want more?
Take a Bloody Mary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gets a couple drinks ready to go. Seeks like some reddish liquid be made once again. Will you be eating as well, or is it just the drinks?
Yeah, I think we're gonna get some eggs or something. Whatever you guys
Can I
want.
just get some toast?
Absolutely. We have the toast ready to serve. Here, I'll get you some. She brings over some bread. You said you were Seducius as well. That's I assume who you are.
Oh, so you've heard of me.
Yes, we have. Helga has informed us. Um, she has let she has informed everyone that you are to be taken care of. So whatever you order is on the house.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Yeah, well, cool.
I might say
Breakfast.
though, you might want to stay away from the young lad Gregor. He's not fond of people. Suitors of his mother. Let's say that.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll buy him something nice and win him over.
I don't know if that's quite his thing, but you're welcome to try what you think might help if that's really something you're looking to pursue. But just a word of advice from myself. Helga is much loved in this community, and if she were to come to harm of any type, it would likely be uncomfortable for you.
Okay, well, I think I'm just gonna pursue those morning ales for now. Thanks for the
Uh,
heads up.
and she gives you the ale, and she says, and then she kind of whispers into your ear. She goes like, to put it plainly, watch where you stick your dick, okay, asshole? And she just leaves.
She's not wrong.
uh, so she kind of walks off, lets you take the drinks, and you guys sit back down as you sit at an open table. Again, it's not like busy in here, but there's like a good chunk of people you wouldn't expect for an early morning, but there are. You hear some talking overhead and that kind of stuff. Can I have everyone at the table roll a perception check for me?
I like this music.
It's my
20.
tavern music. 20. Nice.
Most Isley Cantina.
Hmm.
I got 16.
Those 4.
Is
22.
there a perception thing on mine? Oh, yeah, there's. Actually, so I'm at 18.
18. Okay.
I'm at a 16.
16. Okay, I would like Nicole. You said you got a 20, yeah?
Mhm.
Can you roll just a d6 for me? Tell me what you get.
5.
5.
Mhm.
So you're kind of listening half to your group. Sorry, Flux, by the way. Flux, you're listening to half to your group, half to kind of the other people and customers of this particular tavern, and you hear a few older gentlemen um, kind of speaking in hushed tones. They seem to have just gotten in from some hard work. They're covered in dust and grime. I mean, the area is a pretty agrarian area, so a lot of farmers work here, but they seem to be talking in strangely hushed tones for farmers. But you can just pick up that they're talking about something a little strange, and you hear one of them say, "Well, I saw it west of Fendlin. I don't think anyone's noticed it before. The stone lighthouse. There were lights coming from it for the first time in ages. No one's noticed that. Um, but the strange thing about it is, as the lights began to appear, ships were going to it. We've never seen that. They were all crashed upon them. I'm certain if we were able to go there, we'd find some treasure in some of those ships.
Hmm.
And then you just kind of
Okay.
continue talking, but you're able to hear snippets of some of that stuff.
Okay. And no one else can hear it, right? Just me?
Did anyone Torin, you said you rolled a 18?
18 total.
Yeah, anyone who rolled an 18 and up would have heard that same conversation.
Me.
Okay.
Yep, so you heard it as well.
Hey, did you guys hear that? Those guys talking about that lighthouse?
I
Yeah,
heard
that's
a
kinda
little bit,
strange.
little bit,
They said
but not
something
enough.
about treasure and ships. You guys want to check it out?
I do. I'm curious.
I don't like water, but let's go.
Hey, treasure man, we should go check it out. What?
I'm down. I'm down.
Let's do it. Let's go check it out.
I could
I
get
mean,
my
after
voice.
we eat and everything, get our coffee and get our strength.
So the only thing that I would put in for your particular characters, you don't know where exactly this place is. All you heard in the conversation was that it's west of Phandalin, the town you're in currently.
That changes things.
Should we ask some people? Oh wait, do they name the place?
They didn't. You just heard
No,
they were
okay.
talking about this lighthouse. It's been there forever. It hasn't been lit in quite a long time, but recently it's been going off, and it seems like it's attracting ships as they think they have safe harbor, but they don't.
Seducius, you should ask the people. Like, maybe they could reach out to Helga and she'll know.
I feel like there was a little bit of something in the air over there. I don't know if I can talk to Helga this morning. I think she's tired or something.
You also haven't
Yeah,
seen
I
Helga.
remember
You don't know if she's here currently. Just
Maybe we should find her.
Find Helga? A different method this morning as I sit my ale. Why don't you go flirt with him over there and get
You go find her. Well, maybe we should go over there and just maybe talk those guys up for a little bit. See if they'll give us some more information.
Yes.
I mean, they're kind of small and grimy. Maybe our strength and our good-looking friend over here can charm them into giving us some more of the whereabouts.
Sounds like a good plan.
Give me too much credit.
pretty good looking dude. But if you guys want to go try talking to him, I will gladly accompany you.
Perfect.
Yeah, let's go talk to them.
Okay.
So you guys are going over and talking to them. They're just like a table or two away. You can get there right away, and
Yeah.
they kind of see you approach and walk up. Who's all going? Just so I know. Like everybody?
For us. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
all of us.
So the one that wasn't talking is kind of the one that was facing your table. So he kind of sees you approach first, and at first he thinks you're gonna pass, but then he notices you kind of stop and cluster around the table, and he looks at you and he goes, "Yes."
Hey, so we don't want to be rude or anything, but we
Okay.
can't help but overhear you saying something about a lighthouse being lit and maybe some ships being there, possibly some potential treasure.
I would like you to just roll a straight charisma check.
Okay. That's a 20, right?
Mhm.
Alright.
And you're gonna add your charisma bonus up at the top of your screen.
Okay. Oh shit, I got 19.
Oh.
Hey.
19.
Mhm.
So he kind of looks at you for a second, and you can tell he's pretty standoffish, and he goes, "Well, I guess sometimes my friend here has a tendency to be a little louder than he should be. But yes, We were speaking of that old lighthouse out there on the west side of the coast, and it's it's been there for ages, but suddenly it's been lighting up, bringing all the ships around into port there, and there's nothing but rocks on them. So we've just noticed that maybe one of the two of the ships might have gone down. We're just worried for any survivors. We wanted to go check it out and see if they were okay. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, we've actually been helping out the townspeople, keeping them safe for, a potential dragon and some other things going on here. So, we actually wouldn't mind helping you guys out if you want to take us over there. We wouldn't mind helping some survivors.
I mean, this wasn't really going to be like a joint thing. It was just going to be me and my friend here.
Well, what do you guys think? Could we maybe potentially just get the whereabouts of where this might be? I mean, we're looking to always do some exploring, and we're always looking to help people. So maybe we could just meander over there.
I mean, if you're from around here, you probably know where it is if you want to just go. But I wouldn't recommend it. That place could be pretty dangerous. It seems like so. Not a thing I'd recommend. A little lady like you to go do.
How come there's only two of you going?
I mean, we're skilled salesmen. We know what we're doing.
I mean, I'm not
Tries to
from
puff up
around
his
here,
chest.
but it would be really helpful if you could just point us in the right direction. Maybe give us some towns nearby.
Roll a persuasion check.
All right. 21? Oh, no, sorry, 22.
Yeah.
Nice.
So he does look and he goes, I mean, if you want to go to your own grave, I guess it's your own problem. Probably soften it up for us anyway, so. It's maybe about 35 miles west of here. Just head straight towards the coast. A high road will take you there by nightfall. If you camp, you can probably get there in the dawn when it's low tide. Just a word of advice. High tide is not when you want to be there. So I'd wait till dawn.
Right. Okay, well, thank you for that advice, but we'll make our own decisions.
Okay.
Yeah, we will.
Just put it out there in the world. Don't forget who told you where it was. Okay?
I don't believe I got your name. What's your name?
My name's Hugh.
Okay.
Hugh Jackson.
I knew.
Oh, Lord.
You're a character, Mr. Hugh.
That's true.
Hmm.
It's true. Used to be a captain, but just took a lot of hard knocks. So here I am.
All right. Well, we won't forget you. Thank you for all of that. And we're gonna be on our way now.
All right. And he kind of just like gives you a nod and lets you go off, and you start to overhear as he like is leaving. You hear like a little bit lower, but still pretty gruff and still pretty loud. See, asshole, this is why you have to be quiet when you talk about this shit in public. People can hear you, and now they get. And it just kind of whispers off as you walk away.
Alright, you guys ready?
Yes. Is there anything that we need to get?
Yeah.
Or anything you want to buy before we go?
Trent?
Oh, I got enough stuff, dude.
Not
I-
Trent.
Yeah, you have been in town long enough to know that there are kind of like two major shops in town that you can use. One is Barthen's Provisions, which is just like general goods. If you need to restock, if anyone needs to restock on like arrows, there'd be some here. There's also like food and other supplies here, rope, etc. And then you've passed another place. What is the name of that? Just to make sure I give you everything correctly. Lion Shield Coster, which is like an armor's shop. They sell weapons and arms here and armor at this location if anyone wanted to check that place out. And there are other various things like you've seen throughout town that you can explore if you wanted to check out Fandle a little bit more, but kind of up to you what you'd like to do.
We could just continue going. I'm okay.
Yeah, I think I'm good
Yeah,
on
same.
supplies. Seducius?
I'm chilling. I'm great. Let's go.
Okay.
Go to the lighthouse.
So you start to kind of gather your things and start to walk out. Um, Seducius, I would just like you to roll a straight d20. Don't add anything to it.
Okay. 10.
10. Okay. So as soon as you're about to leave, the door just swings open.
Jesus.
Here we go.
And in
It's
strides
Mama.
Helga. And just immediately she like connects eyes with you and she goes, "Oh, I'm so glad I caught you. Good morning, Seducius.
Hi,
How are
Helga.
you? Oh my gosh. I'm always said, did you guys get breakfast? I told him to take care of you."
Yes. Thank you
Ah,
so much. That was so sweet of you. They took great care of me and my friend.
I love it. I love it. I'd love to take care of you. We'd love to take care of you. I mean,
Your kindness is only outmatched by your good looks, Helga. And we're actually off to a little adventure here, and then we'll be
oh,
back
excellent.
later.
Were you gonna go help the town master again? I just saw he posted a couple new adventures on the board. He said you guys so far have actually been quite the help around here. So I'm sure he'd love it if you could probably just take on another one or something for him. You know.
Yeah, we got a little tip on I don't know, a different kind of adventure we're gonna try and go on. But then we'll head back to the town master. He's a
Oh.
pretty decent guy.
Oh,
If we
interesting.
double down.
Is it?
Yeah, ever heard of like a lighthouse or something?
And she like gets a little standoffish and more concerned in her face, and she goes, "You're not going there, are you?"
Uh, yeah. Well, we were planning on it. What do you know about the lighthouse, Helga?
I mean, I don't know a lot about it, but it's been here forever, and there are a lot of rumors about it being haunted. People have gone missing there, others have turned up dead. It's not a safe place.
Hmm.
Is there more than one lighthouse around?
No, I mean not at this side of the coast. There's certainly more up north, like near some of the bigger cities, but nothing here.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I mean, lately the rumors have been that the lighthouse has been glowing again, and lights have been happening, and we've seen a few ships wreck off the coast over there because the rocks are super dangerous. I mean, I'll be clear. I think someone putting a lighthouse there was real stupid. Like, it doesn't lead to safety. It's just rocks.
Is there anything that you suggest that we bring us or bring with us?
I don't know. Common sense, maybe. I was talking to Seducius, so I
I've
don't
got
know.
enough common sense for the whole group. Helga.
Excuse me?
You don't have to worry about that. So.
You got the squad unlocked, dude.
I mean, I trust you, Seducius. I just want to make sure nothing bad happens to you. And she kind of like puts her arm on your like shoulder and just like leaves it there, maybe just a little bit longer than you're okay with. out of the back of the out of the back of the tavern, you hear like a, and it's like Gregor just like bottling up inside.
Helga, I promise you'll see my face again. But we're gonna go check out this lighthouse and see if we can figure out what's going on over there.
Okay, I'm just if you want to do that, then of course, like I would never stop you from being you, Seducius. Um, but maybe just check out the job board and see if there's anything there that might be a little bit more, worth your while. I don't know what you're gonna find at a gross old broken down lighthouse. I mean, Harbin's gonna pay. There's money.
Yeah. You know how much I love money, Helga.
I know how much you love a lot of things.
Helga,
Think he
just
might-
you, we'll make sure we check out that new job posting in a bit. Okay?
Okay.
Helga,
Um,
I promise you, you have nothing to worry about.
Let's check it out. Maybe it's
That
the
Xandri,
lighthouse.
that Thorin, we're gonna be fine. We just want to make sure you and the rest of the lovely townspeople are safe from these weird ships and this glowing light. We feel it's our responsibility as the newer people in town to take care of all of you guys.
Okay. It just, I just want to be clear. And if anything happens to Seducius, I'll be very angry. And I'm not sure I like all these women around him. So maybe
They're just friends. They're just friends.
Listen.
roll a
we
deception check,
have
Seducius.
nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about.
Roll a persuasion check, Flex.
22.
22.
I got an 18.
Woo.
Okay, so she
Big numbers here.
and you got a 22. So she looks at you and goes, "Yeah, you guys wouldn't really be great together anyway. Just take care of him, okay? It's fine. Seducius, for
I
real
got
though.
it.
I'll be here when you get back. You just let me know."
Helga, it'll
You
be
don't
fine.
need to worry, Helga.
It'll be fine.
Okay.
Don't worry about a thing, Helga.
By the way, I
Can
heard
you
you
stop?
might want might want to get Gregor a little something, on the way. He likes presents. He likes gifts.
You know what, Helga? How about this? If we find treasure, we'll give some of it to your sweet little Gregor.
Yeah, that'd be
Okay?
great. That sounds awesome.
Okay.
I'd love it.
Well, we gotta go.
Yeah, you
Alright.
do seem nice.
Come on.
Like, I don't know about the
Think
cat
about that.
lady. She seems like a real I
That's
don't
my
like
friend.
to use this word often, but a mean lady.
A bitch.
Okay, those are your words. I'm gonna talk like that around Gregor.
We gotta go.
So she lets you kind of walk off. Bye, sweetheart. And she lets you guys go. Are you stopping at the job board? What is your intention here?
Well, guys, do you
Check
wanna
it out, I
check
guess.
or do you want to go straight to the lighthouse? Just so I'm clear, when is dawn and what time is it now?
So it's like
Dawn's early in the
nine-ish.
morning.
It's true. Yes, it's like nine-ish. Based on the like directions you got from the sailors, it's about 35 miles away. You know you can cover maybe about 25 miles in a day. So if you leave now and you camp, you can probably get there by the next dawn if you camp somewhere off the road. Let me see if I can pull up the big map for you. Hold on one second. Boop, 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 boop,
Do a quick
boop.
baby check. I'll be right back.
For sure, brother.
I want to do a baby. You have a stage 5 clinger. I'm gonna get her out of this picture. You're gonna get us all in trouble with that.
Seriously.
Yeah,
Don't mess this up because then we don't have a place to live.
I'm gonna tell her to watch her mouth too.
Yeah, and if she finds out you were knocking on our door the other night, you're gonna mess this
Tell
up.
her about that, okay? Don't tell her about
always trouble, Seducius.
Lord.
So okay, you can see where Fandolin is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you need to head on to like up north and kind of cut to the high road. You can get to the high road basically in a day's travel. So before you would have to settle down for the night, and then the blah 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 blah. Where'd you go? Blah 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 blah. Then the tower is actually south a bit, and then further to the west. See if I can mark it a bit. Where's my pencil? So roughly,
You're
here I'll give you a little marker. Based on what they told you, it's roughly this area. Said basically about 35 miles due west of Fandolin. But the safest way to get there would be to take the road, get to the high road, stay around there, and then come back down.
okay. Yeah, I feel like going to the lighthouse. Screw that Harbin. What's his fucking name today?
Yeah, he's just been jerking us around this entire time.
Yeah,
Let's get our own money.
not the kind of jerking around I like. Let's go to the
Okay,
light.
well, that's what you have, Helga. So, like I say, don't mess this up.
Yeah. My hair is so
Oh,
crazy.
fuck.
Look at what is it doing?
What?
It's just being crazy. I want to like.
It's
I
very
want-
80s.
I want to shave it.
Do
off.
it. Why don't you? Let it happen.
Because I have a journey that I want to take it where I actually do.
Hmm.
Because
You gotta
shaving my
get
head
your-
is on my bucket list.
You
y'all.
gotta get your curl pattern back, girl.
Yeah, but if I shave it off, then we Gucci.
Crow pattern,
It'll
schmurl
just grow
pattern.
Because then it'll just
get the
grow
fat
back. All
over.
this needs to be chopped off.
Do what you gotta do. So you guys are kind of leaving the town and heading there. Or are you guys gonna search around the town a little bit? What's the game plan here?
I think we should just head over.
Yeah, I feel like we're pretty focused. We're gonna
What
go.
about Sless? Is he coming with us? Or are we gonna go?
No, he's depressed. He's depressed today. He's gonna go drink and not talk to Helga like I told him to. Stupid.
So you guys are leaving town.
We're leaving town. Going to the high road.
The road is pretty well traveled. It does a pretty, um, the guards and stuff that patrol this area and the militia that patrols this area does a pretty good job of keeping it safe. It's a little harder to do that currently because the dragon has kind of scared everybody. But you do seem to make it towards the high road without too much issue. I would ask, are you guys planning on camping kind of there at the high road crossroads? Are you gonna stay like anywhere specific? There's nothing really in that area. It's all just kind of wilderness and road.
I mean, could we camp kind of like near the lighthouse, like along like the ocean side over there?
You wouldn't be able to get there without having to like push through the night, and that would leave you pretty tired in the morning.
Okay.
So, just kind of up to you on how you want to do it. Like by the time you reach this crossroads of the high road, it's getting pretty late in the day now. Like each one of these hexagons is about, what is that, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, probably like 25. Like each one is like about 5 miles or so, 6 miles or so. So,
Okay.
it's a pretty good walk to get just to here.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I say we just kind of camp out wherever we can to reach the
Yeah.
high road.
Yeah, I think we should try to get to like the crossroads of where that fork in the road where we get to the high road. So maybe right there on a main.
Okay. So you're camping kind of right alongside the road.
Mhm.
So you guys all kind of start to settle down for the night. Anyone keeping watch, or you're all just gonna go to sleep?
I'll keep watch.
Okay. So everyone kind of starts to bed down. Tents and things are made. Torn, I'd like you to roll a perception check.
18 plus 2 is 20.
Yeah, nice. So you notice off in the distance, in about the general area, like several miles off, but you can see it because it's bright in the darkness. This eerie green glow, kind of like starting to rise and grow from a certain area, and it just feels eerie. It doesn't feel natural. It doesn't look like firelight or lamplight. It just is this eerie green glow off in the distance. So just a thing to kind of note in your brain as you're kind of keeping watch.
Okay.
Kind of rest.
Floating gelatinous cubes over there.
You're asleep. So you
Yes, honey.
yeah, there it is.
Is that vanilla? Okay.
Oh, it's so good with some like tea.
I
Oh,
didn't realize that was a thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nate.
Yeah, they're both drinking it
The
right
official drink of Fandolin.
Vanilla Jim Beam and tea.
now.
Oh,
And what
good.
kind of tea?
I mean, sweet tea always works too if you're doing it iced, like I am tonight. But any tea, honestly, any tea that goes with vanilla.
Get it?
Can we
Shoot.
have some of this
True.
like, campsite?
We have some what now?
I said, do we have some of this at the campsite?
I mean, if you had booze on you, none of you guys decided to go shopping, so you have no booze on you.
I feel like Caduceus always
Trash.
has like a flask in his pocket.
Yeah, he's got some flash.
He's got to get him. He's got to get him liquored up somehow.
So you don't notice anything else throughout the rest of the night. It does seem to be kind of basic. As you're keeping watch, you see a few travelers kind of go up and down the road. Not very many, but there are a few, kind of in spurts and waves. Um, and it's time for another shift to come up. Is anyone going to take next shift before the morning as you wake up?
I'll take the next shift.
Okay. Torin goes to sleep. You guys exchange any words or anything before? Or?
Just,
Hey man, how'd it go last night?
it was a little weird up there. There's a green light real far. Gotta be careful. Keep your eyes out. I don't know if you can see that far. Yeah.
You in the moon?
No, it was kind of on the ground. It's weird. I don't know what it was.
Okay. Alright, I'll keep an eye out for that.
Distance.
Alright, man. Get some rest.
That's right. Good night.
And then Caduceus, I'd also like you to roll a perception check.
Only got 9.
9. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, like you don't notice much. Some passersby seem to kind of go through the night road in spurts, a little oddly there. You kind of notice as the night goes on, you're kind of watching the road. Nothing seems to be very strange. Your eyes are kind of intently there. And you wake and you don't notice anything super interesting or strange about that. Everyone else kind of tends to wake up. I need to know how much coinage you guys had on your persons.
Okay. I had 30 gold coins.
30 gold coins?
I have 35.
Okay.
How can I forget?
Working on the side, huh, Caduceus? Working on the side, making your coins.
Is that under equipment?
45.
Yeah, it's under equipment.
What?
I've been on many adventures before you got here, Fluck. Stories for another night.
So I've heard.
I don't have any monies.
Literally.
You don't have any?
45 gold.
Disgusting.
What did it say? Gold? What would it say?
Yeah, it should say gold. Let me check on yours here.
Maybe you have to add it to your inventory last time.
Oh, he might not have.
'Cause
Also, Nate,
you should have 30.
Torin should have 50.
50?
50, 50. I see he has 50.
Oh, okay.
Are you looking in your equipment?
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's in a different area. It's under currency up top on the right.
equipment currency, yeah.
And
I didn't
then
realize.
Did our
I was
hit
looking
points,
under like inventory. I was looking at a dumb spot. Yeah, 50.
Did our hit points regenerate? To 20,
Yes,
like, I
yeah.
had 25. All right, cool.
yeah, I'll if everyone could just hit the long rest button on their character sheet too, just to get all your stuff. Back.
Oh, I'm not almost dead.
Yeah, you shouldn't be.
You want me to hit it?
Yeah, everyone hit it.
Wait,
Yep, you guys
where
hit
is that?
it. Should be near the top right.
Am I just saying take long rest?
Mhm.
Okay.
Is that box supposed to be checked? Reset maximum HP?
Yep.
Okay,
So,
You had to like click it twice.
Okay.
done.
I feel like I'm back at Star Wars Land.
yeah.
Dude, I could literally spend all day in there. Nate, you know what I'm talking about.
I do. I totally do.
That cantina was sick.
Can someone plan a Disney trip with me?
Yes.
Have you
I
not
can
been to
never tell you.
Disneyland yet?
I haven't been since I was 12.
Okay, we should definitely
I
go.
will map out your entire vacation. I've done that for people. I've done an entire itinerary.
Yes.
You
I'll
should
do
a
it
million
for
percent.
you.
Yes.
So you wake up in the morning. All of you notice that about half your gold has been taken.
Huh?
Up.
Oh, hell no.
And
Dude,
it's
Caduceus, what the? What are you doing, dude?
It's
No,
a
I
little.
thought
It's a
you
little
were supposed to
specific.
be on watch.
Seducius, you have none missing. Torin has
Hell,
25 gold
it's
pieces
ass.
missing. Zendre has.
All my gold missing.
You have all of your gold missing except the silver. And Flux, you are missing half. You're missing 15 gold pieces.
Like reverse stimulus check today. What the?
I know who did it.
Seducious, we gotta talk, my friend.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, listen, I didn't fall asleep in time. I promise. I didn't.
Uh-huh.
I didn't see any.
So what happened to my gold?
I don't know. You,
What do you mean you don't know? You were
you
here.
spent it?
I can
I
tell
was-
you right now, the fact that I'm missing all of it puts a hit marker on someone's head.
I
You already
was
know
just
who it is.
watching the ocean and the
Empty out your
lighthouse.
stuff. Empty out your stuff.
I'll dump out my gold. Here's all my gold. See, just my gold, not your gold, mine.
Uh-huh.
Of course, he still has all his gold flux.
Mm-hmm.
Torin and Seducius, I would like you to roll just a straight intelligence check.
Great.
I'm about to catch these hands, sir.
Yes.
I'm about to throw you in that water,
Yes,
sir.
his hand.
Seduce your way out of the waves, sir. Let's see what happens.
You get intelligence bonus, is that a thing or no?
If you look at your top of your character sheet, you'll see strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, your abilities.
Oh, there it is.
Intelligence.
Alright, so I have 13.
Seducius.
I have 2. What the f is going on?
So neither of you really know what happened. Seducius definitely doesn't. He's like, well, I don't know, dude. I was watching the road the whole time. Torin starts to kind of realize it's a little weird for that many people to be walking the road this late at night. And you have a suspicion they may have been bandits that were casing you guys, sleeping this close to the road.
There were some bandits. Could have been them. I didn't see them though. Oh, I don't know. I would have killed him. You know that. I would never take
I
him.
don't know.
I don't want to kill him
How
now.
would you do that? It's so tantalizing.
You sound like Coach Steve.
I don't know what
He was
voice I have.
just let it go. A new voice every time for Torin.
Seducius, what were you doing? Did you let the bandits come to us? I don't know.
I didn't do anything. I was playing my freaking lute by the ocean, watching freaking lights. I didn't hear nothing.
You didn't hear anything because you weren't paying attention.
Well, you're alive, aren't you? I kept you alive.
You didn't really do that much, but that's okay. I'll give you that.
Kind of keeping you sassy over there, Zendry.
Excuse me?
Go on, Richard. Let's go.
You about to figure out how to seduce your way out of these hands.
Yeah, it ain't gonna work.
Can I look around to see if there's any animals? I don't know what that. I could speak to. I want to speak to an animal around me to see what they saw.
Yeah. Roll a perception check. Let's see if you spot an animal.
I can talk to animals, dude.
Dr. Doolittle over here.
That's right, dude. It's 2. I got 13 total.
13 total. Yeah. I mean, you see birds around, tweeting, and they're flying through, and a couple of squirrels or chipmunks are running around. There's definitely some small wildlife around.
Can I ask one of the squirrels a question?
Yeah. Totes.
Hey, squirrel over there, you see anything funky last night at our camp? You've been at that tree the whole time. I seen you earlier.
Hey, yo, squirrel.
So he kind of
Let me holler at you, squirrel.
I don't know what you guys was doing, but you were not fucking paying attention. You know, these fucking fugazis came out of the woods over there and took all your shit.
Are we in Central Park? What's going on?
Who was on watch though? Was
I don't know. I saw you watching these fuckers. They circle back. You guys didn't know nothing. And then the pretty one over there, like he didn't look behind him.
Okay.
Probably one of the dumbest things I've ever seen you humans do.
Called out.
I never look back, only look forward.
Okay.
I don't know what he said, but he seemed real dumb. He pretty but dumb, you know, like back in my side of the hood, someone takes your shit, you go gack gack, you know, back at him. They went that way if you want to know. I mean, I don't mind helping you. You seem nice.
I feel like this is the Al Pacino of chipmunks or something.
We found the right one. Let me tell you. Yo.
Just saying. If you want to do something about it, they're over there. No.
Oh Lord.
Thor,
I think let's go over there as a group. What do you guys think? Let's go.
Let's go over there.
Thor, maybe just talking to a chipmunk and you wanna follow his directions?
Yeah.
I don't. Man, that pretty one seemed real dumb. Like, fuck that guy. Like, he thinks I don't know what I'm talking about.
Hey, that chipmunk seems like he's really.
The chipmunks don't really like you. You better just stop while you're ahead, or they're gonna come after you.
He doesn't
Yeah.
like you very much.
They're gonna chew a hole through your backpack. You lose all your money, dude.
They're gonna try and steal my nuts. Alright, let's go. I'll follow you, Thor.
That's
No,
the one
bunch of
person who doesn't want
gross,
chipmunks.
pale-ass
Okay,
nuts.
chill.
Fucking asshole. Think I don't know what you saying.
Oh god, I wish I could talk to chipmunks.
Upset right now.
Hey, you watch your back, dumbass.
Dude, they are going off on you, bro. You better just get out
Yo,
of here.
I think
All Seducius can hear is just like.
Oh my god.
Last year or
Thorin, tell your little friends to climb a tree. We gotta go find some bandits, okay?
Hold on, say that again, Zendry.
I said, is it only Torin who can understand?
Yes, all you hear is like.
I'm
Yeah, he seems pissed.
Yeah, he ain't happy, bro.
Oh my god.
I'm weak.
He has like thrown like a couple of like acorn shells in like Seducia's direction now. Fuck you, fucking guy! Come out of my way! I'm walking. This is my home. You come here thinking you know better than. He's just yelling in the background, just like chipmunks speak.
He's just
Or
running
this
away.
weekend gives me a headache. Can you tell him to shut up and let's go?
Yeah. I'm not gonna tell him shut up because he's helping me. But yes, we can go now.
That's so funny.
Thank you for your help.
Yeah,
I
you're
will
fucking
tell
welcome,
Susie
you know?
that he's this dumbass.
Yeah, he seems like a real
Pretty
scumbag. You know what I mean? Like he's probably not the kind of person you want to hang out with. Seems like a real
Oh, yeah.
pretty boy too. Don't know what he's gonna be helping you with, but you know, you guys probably decide something better a little bit. The ladies are nice though. You know, hubba hubba, huh? The one with the red skin, great. Love it. Love a little coloration here in Chipmunk Land. All I'm saying. Other one looks like a cat. Cats fucking scare me. I'm just saying it's not my thing. She seemed nice. No, nice personality, but it's not on my type.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like I said, they're over there in the fucking woods though. I don't know what they're doing. There was about like 3 or 4 of them. But you know.
We'll go over there.
I
Check it
just-
out. You guys want to go check out the woods over there? There might be some bandits.
Yeah, let's go check it out.
Let's go.
I need to get away from this crazy ass chipmunk. Go.
You wouldn't know that he's crazy.
That's my people. Don't make fun of him.
I could tell the chipmunk's jumping around.
Flicking his tail at me and stuff. I don't know, man.
his tail is standing straight up, just direct.
Oh my. Alright, we're following you, Thorn. You know where to go.
So Torin does kind of walk into the woods a bit that are kind of close to you. They're a good ways off though. They're like 4 or 5 miles up out of your way, away like towards the north. So you do kind of circle back and get into the woods a little bit. I would like Torin. You said you're leading the way.
Sure.
Roll a survival check for me.
Ooh, that's not good. 5.
5. You can't see any markers or trails that lead you in here. You're probably now a good like half a mile into the forest, and you're pretty considerably disoriented. You're not really from around here. You don't know how to see these places, and you're a little confused. I'd like everyone, because of that, to roll a perception check at disadvantage. Um, and can I ask also, are you guys trying to be sneaky, or are you moving kind of quick to catch up? Like, what's the methodology here?
I don't know. Personally, I feel
Sneaky.
like it would be sneaky. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
I
trying to
would
go
go
like through the
sneaky.
trees and like listening to find these people.
Okay. Okay.
Which one am I rolling? Check?
Perception check, and you're gonna roll it at disadvantage.
Remind me what disadvantage is.
Roll it twice. Take the lower number.
Okay.
Oh, of
I
course.
got a 7.
So I got
11.
an 8.
I
Eight.
got an 8 as well.
Okay. So
I have
as you're kind of going through the woods do start to get a little bit denser and denser, and it's hard to notice things. It's a pretty deep, deep wood here. You're certain you haven't gone too deep, but it's just astounding how lost you are in this space now. As you're trying to pursue these apparent bandits who stole your stuff. Um, and as you kind of get in, you're now unsure of what's going on. Who rolled a 7?
Me.
Okay, so
Torn.
um, as you're kind of going along, you just hear really suddenly out of like behind you, flip, and then I need you to roll a dexterity saving throw.
9.
9. Okay, so you don't notice as an arrow just shoots out from behind, like from the tree line, straight down at you, and you take immediately 6 points of damage from this arrow that just stuck deep into your shoulder. And I need
Great.
everyone to roll initiative for me, as you have now been fighting this unseen force. And I just need to get something loaded up real
I
quick.
got
Hold on.
18.
18.
16.
Am I rolling again too, or?
Yeah, I need everyone to roll initiative for me.
I got a 12.
I did. Where's initiative?
Almost in the center.
Oh
Next
yeah,
to
mine's
armor
0.
class.
All right, 18.
18. Hold on 1 second for me.
Let's get that one confused.
Wish this just let me do a new one. Why don't you? Well, that's annoying. Let's see. It's not gonna let me go to that though, is it? That's okay. I can close these, get it back. Boop, 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 boop. Let me get you a quick image of what you see in front of you. Oop, that's not fun.
I hope they make a Funko Pop of butter skulls, by the way.
I'm sure we can figure something out for you. Oh, that's not what I want. Clear.
After
What
my
app do you use for that?
Onward, and I told him I played D&D, he was really interested and wants to play too.
Who is this?
Aw.
My son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old is he?
He's 11.
Oh, he can play. When Lily's like 7 or 8, I'm gonna get her to play.
Yeah.
My son's really interested in it too, because we play Magic and stuff.
Yeah, it's a good time, man. There's a couple of, like, children-oriented books that are like smaller reads of the player's handbook, which are really cool.
That'd be cute.
All right.
Imagine one day Nate's hosting all of our kids on the D&D night.
Okay.
Raising them right.
My son also loved my name.
Oh yeah.
Of course he did.
Makes sense when you think about it.
It's gonna be
That's
Seducious
awesome.
Junior one day.
Yeah,
Boy.
second coming up.
Where's that Twitter at?
Yeah, for real though. Insert creatures,
I'll think
players.
about it. Think about it.
What you mean? I'll think about it. You have to do it now. Yeah.
My first tweet, like, yo, you want to see some pics of Zendry? Hit me up direct.
I could make
Oh
a
my-
Zendry says we should just do it. It would just be so funny. You could just talk trash all day long.
Or
Sorry.
my next tweet that I put the ass and ass.
Oh god.
The ass and what? Ass and what?
Similar.
Oh, okay.
I feel like that's a t-shirt. That's gotta be a t-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
It will be after I tweet it.
All right. So you guys are kind of walking into the woods, a little disoriented as you're trying to figure out where these people are. And you, again, start taking damage. I'm just going to insert these guys real fast.
Damage.
Yeah, remind me what hit Torn again?
An arrow. And you can see it because you're behind him. You saw this arrow just zip from behind you.
Okay.
Susie's writing in the chat.
Yeah. Such action! We see you, Susie. I'm just busy trying to DM.
She's making fun of you, Craig.
Of course. Well, I'm here.
I'm kidding. She's not making fun of you. She's just talking about you.
All right, so can I get those initiative numbers again? Flux, what'd you get?
16.
I got 18.
18. And then I heard Zendry got a 16. And then Seducius
12.
and Torin.
That one I got an
8 or 18?
18.
18. Okay.
That was the initiative. Yeah.
Alrighty. So, because you were surprised, pretty much all of the bandits are going to go first before you. You are all under what's called the surprise condition because you didn't see them coming. And they stuck out on you as you jumped in this completely disoriented location. So your first round, you're basically going to get skipped, and then they're going to go again. So the first one already hit Torin. That one's kind of in the furthest back. He's just going to go for the one at the rear, which in this case is Seducius. So Seducius, he's going to try to just hit you with his light crossbow as well. And see if he hits you. So 11, 14. What's your armor class?
13.
All right, he hits. You take 4 points of damage.
Alright.
The next bandit goes. This is the one that fired on Torin. He's going to do it again and try to hit Torin. 10.
No.
He rolled a 13. Torin, what's your armor class?
13.
That also is going to hit you, so you take 4 points of damage as well.
6 again? Oh, 4.
4.
Mother.
Damn. Ain't looking good.
Torin, it's your turn, but you're going to get skipped because you're surprised. Flux, it's your turn, but you're going to get skipped because you're surprised. It's now kind of what seems to be the only bandit thing in front of you. This guy seems pretty beefy. He's got like a mace in his hand, and he just sees you coming and just charges straight for you. He's going to go for the first person in line that didn't take damage. Let's see if he can make it that way. He can. So he runs up to Zendry up there, and he's going to try and take a couple thwacks at you, both with his mace. So first one is a 4 that misses. Second one is a 10 that misses. So both swings just can't seem to really get good purchase on your armor, and you're able to kind of shrug it off with your reflexes. But that will bring us to the last bandit, who has just come out right out of the woods next to Flux, and is just going to try to swing with its scimitar at Flux. Gets a 6 plus, what is that, 6 plus 3. That's going to miss. So yeah, that one misses you.
Sweet.
They suck.
Goodness.
So Zendra, your turn, but you're gonna get skipped. Seducius, your turn, but you're gonna get skipped. Brings us back to now skipped, or the other, whichever, really. Uh, uh, so the first bandit's gonna go ahead and fire again on Seducius, and just keep taking aims at you guys. That one misses.
I always go for the pretty ones first.
Next one misses, which is gonna be now Torrin's turn. You are able to do what you'd like, and again, remember you can move, take an action, and do a bonus action on your turn.
Oh,
One for revenge.
Yeah, I'm gonna attack, dude. I'm gonna hit him with Actually, let me see. There's not really. Oh, wait. So there's no one really around me. I'm the dude in the
Yeah, you're the like blue dragony thing.
blue dragon dude. Okay.
I could zoom in a little bit if it's helpful.
I like these little
That's okay.
avatars.
No, those are sick, dude.
If you guys want to customize them, I'll show you the place to do it.
My muscles aren't big enough for mine.
You don't have muscles. Shut up.
I love
Might just strike him. Should I attack the?
It's up to you. You're in range with all of them if you want to get to any of them. It just depends on what you want to try to hit with.
I'm gonna try to hit the T1 with the sword.
Okay. So you move up to
Melee.
T1, and then you go ahead and roll to hit with your scimitar.
All right. Oh wait, D6. I'm rolling the wrong dice.
First thing you're gonna do is roll to hit. So you're gonna do a D20 plus 5.
Oh. D20. Oh, I see. Okay, so I have 17.
17. That definitely hits. Go ahead and now roll your D6 plus 3.
That's 6 total.
Nice. So a scimitar takes a little chunk out of him. You see some blood splatter fly, but this dude's pretty beefy and looks bigger than the others, and just kind of like kind of grunts at you as you go. Anything else you'd like to do with your turn? You can still do a bonus action if you'd like.
2-weapon fighting.
I don't think you have another weapon equipped.
Oh.
But you
Use
could.
wild shape as a bonus action. Extend the spell's illusion.
So you could wild shape if you wanted to turn into a creature.
I'm gonna wait.
Okay. So that'll bring us to next, which is Flux. It's your turn.
Okay. I think I want to. I think I might want to cast a spell.
Okay. What would you like to cast?
Let's cast. Hunter's Mark.
Okay. Which one are you going to try to hit?
I want to try to hit the one to me, which would be B2.
Okay. So you kind of get that jibe going off. You've got Hunter's Mark on him now.
Yep.
That's a bonus action, so you still have an action if you want to hit with something.
Yeah, I want to hit with my sickle.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Okay. That's a D4.
Sorry, roll to hit is a D20 plus 4.
Sorry, D20 plus 4, JK. 19 total.
Cool. So go ahead and that hits for sure. Now you can roll damage, which on that sickle is 1d4 plus 2. Just 1 point of clarity, though, if you want to use the sickle. The sickle technically does less damage than your rapier.
Okay, then let's do the rapier instead.
Just want to make sure you're making a choice.
I see that. JK.
So we'll still say it hits, but it's 1d8 plus 2 now.
That's 10 total.
Cool. So first bandit, that was B2 you said?
Mm-hmm.
Just a huge hit as this rapier just like finds purchase really deep near his heart, and he kind of slumps. He's not dead yet, but he's hanging on. What's your Hunter's Mark damage?
Hunter's Mark is... hold on. It would be under hit/DC, yeah?
Mm-hmm. If you look at a Hunter's Mark, that spell that you cast,
Yeah.
and you click on it, it'll tell you.
Oh, gotcha.
It actually kind of says it in that middle column too. You see where it says effect?
Yeah.
So it's an extra d6 you get to roll.
Yeah, 1d6 for this. 2.
2?
Yeah.
All right, just enough to finish this thing off as you just kind of get it, and then he looks at you, and he's like, and you just go a little bit deeper, and he slumps dead on the ground. B2, killed! Which now brings us to the big kind of guy again once more. Kind of seeing this new enemy approach him, he just like grits his teeth and decides to just take 2 thwacks, one at the new Dragonborn in his face, and another at the person he was fighting first. So he's going to take his first one at Torin. Which rolled a 9 plus, with that mace, plus 4, which is 13. What's your armor class, Torin?
13.
So that hits. You're going to take 5 points of damage again.
Jeez Louise.
And then he's going to roll for Zendri once more. And that one's definitely going to hit you. He rolled a 17 natural, so plus 5, that's going to be 22. Plus 4. So you take 5 points of damage as well.
Boo.
But that will end his turn, and that will bring us to Zendri. It is your turn now.
Sweet. How many am I dealing with?
There are 3 that you can see from here. 1 is dead, 3 are still alive. The one closest to Torin and you seems to be the leader because he's like the biggest and has like different weapons.
Okay. I'm gonna just try and hit him with my cross.
You're like right next to him, so if you try to hit him with a ranged weapon, you're going to take disadvantage.
Oh, I'm that close? Like
yeah.
that close?
Yeah, you're within 5 feet of him. So what might be cool
What
here?
about my claws? I'm gonna claw his ass.
Yeah, I think you have like a mace on you though. Like you have a weapon.
I do have a mace weapon.
Yeah, which is like a big like Morningstar metal club thing.
Okay.
You could also use a spell, like you could do you could do inflict wounds. You could touch him and cast a spell that does some damage.
Let's try the mace.
Okay. So you're gonna roll to hit. That's a d20, and your mace hit bonus is plus 4. So roll a d20 and add 4 to it.
Okay. 19.
That definitely hits. So now you're gonna roll your damage. If you look at the damage column, it'll tell you it's 1d6 plus 2.
1d6 plus 2. 4.
Cool. All right. So 4 points of damage to this guy. Doesn't seem to be the heaviest hit on him. He's still kind of standing. Just kind of shakes it off and grunts back at you. Seducius, that brings us to you, sir.
Get him.
I'm all in the back, too far away. Because that one that's B2 that's gray, that one's dead, right?
Yes, correct.
And B1 and B3 are alive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm gonna focus just on B1 since I'm closest.
Mm-hmm.
If I do a thunderclap, would that theoretically affect Lux, who's right in front of me?
Let me check real quick what the range is on that thunderclap.
It's 5 feet.
Range is 5 feet. Yes, that would affect her.
Okay.
You can move though.
Can I take a step closer then and just get right up front in front of B1?
Yeah, you want to go to like B1 and move, like this way. Yep. Yeah, that would get her out of range, and you could do that to that thing.
Yep, that's what I'd rather do.
Okay, let's see if that does damage to it. So he needs to roll a con save. He fails that. So go ahead and roll your d6.
What am I adding to anything?
Nothing, just a d6 on that one.
4.
Cool. 4 points of damage. Pretty big hit on this thing, but he's still standing. He's not happy about it. It was a pretty good hit, but not quite enough to get him to his knees or anything. Anything else you want to do on your turn? Any bonus actions or anything?
Nope.
Okay.
Good.
That brings us back to. Oops, did I go the wrong way? I did. That brings us back to the top of the round. So that's B1. He sees you kind of moving in on him, Seducia, so he's going to try to take a move on you as well and just attack with his scimitar. 11. That misses. Nope, that hits. So you're going to take another 4 points of damage from his scimitar as he slices through you.
Damn.
You guys aren't looking too good. Maybe you shouldn't have listened to the chipmunk.
Fucking chipmunk.
Dude, he's telling us some good stuff, dude.
That'll end his turn, though, and take it to B3 again. Him seeing one of his compatriots goes down, he's going to rush up onto Flux and also try to attack with his scimitar. So let's see if that hits. It's definitely going to hit because that's an 18. So you take 4 points of damage as well, Flux.
Damn.
Fluxed up.
Oh.
Get
shit.
fluxed up, dude.
Flexed up.
Well, I don't give a fuck. You're not about to save all y'all again.
That'll end his turn. Torin, though, that brings it back to you.
Alright, I gotta make some money moves here. I'm gonna turn into a bear.
Okay, yeah, you can do that.
Shit.
Can
So
I
you-
do that first before I attack? Or
It's kind of up to you. If you want to attack with a weapon or a spell first, then no, I would do it after. But it just depends on what
I'll
your
do
game
it
plan is.
after.
If you want to attack with your bear, then yes, you would want to attack first.
I can't attack as him and then change to a bear and attack. There's no double attack, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna turn into a bear then, a black bear.
So you like suddenly like shift into this huge bear. You actually end up taking up a little bit more space as well. I don't know if I can grow you, but let me see if I can. No, but just imagine that you take up, instead of 1 block, you take up 4 blocks now.
Okay.
Big old fucking bear. Just.
Ah, come at me, son.
And how do you want to attack this dude? You also have the bear's health points now, so just remember that as well in your brain.
Yeah, that's kind of why I went for it.
Yeah, smart call.
I'm almost dead. Let's. I can like attack. Well, I should just attack the big guy. I think probably. Just because if I attack someone else.
Yeah, I would attack the big guy.
I'm attacking the big guy.
Okay.
I don't
So
know.
you get
Claw is that?
2 attacks basically as a bear. Yeah, a bite
Claws.
and claws. You're actually going to do both per turn.
Okay. Oh, cool. I'll do both.
Cool.
Bite
Start
and
with bite.
claws, huh? So like
Yep.
seducing Saturday night.
Got him. So you're going to roll a
Bite.
d20 plus 4 to see if you hit with your bite.
All right, that's a 10.
You know I'm right.
10
Total.
misses. So your bite misses. Now you're going to do it with your claws.
That one's a +4. Also, it's a 12.
That one hits. So you can do 2 options. I'll let you choose since you're in animal shape. You can take the average hit number, which in this case is 7, or you can roll 2d4 plus 2 and see what you get on the dice. It's up to you. You have to choose before you roll, though.
I'll roll right now, I guess. Yeah,
Alright.
yeah, that makes sense. The D4 one is the triangle one.
Yep. Yeah, you're gonna roll it twice and then add 2 to that number.
8. So one more.
8. That's all right. A little more does good. Actually, a pretty big hit on this dude. Oop, that's not what I wanted. Thug. He was a little scared. He like fended off the bite and then like didn't see the claws coming up, and he took a big gash. You see a lot of blood kind of starting to stream out of his gut. He took a pretty big hit, but he's still standing ready to fight. But that Flux, that'll bring us to your turn now.
All right. So let me see if I can. So my hunter's mark was only on the one guy, right? Doesn't like cast for everybody. Or was
Correct.
it everybody in range?
Just that one that you chose.
All right. Well, let me use my burning hands because I feel like homeboy at B3 is close enough.
You want to do
I'm
it
gonna
on?
use my burning.
You want to do it on B3?
Yeah, the guy that tried to swing it, the guy that hit me.
Okay. Yeah, you should be able to aim that so it doesn't hit Oh yeah, you're in the middle anyway. Yeah, you could do that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna use my burning hands.
Okay. I think that's a thing I have to. What is the DC 11? Okay, so let's see if he avoids it. Ooh, he does not. 4 plus 3, 7. So yeah, that's a failure. So go ahead and roll 3d6, and he's going to take the full force of it.
I love it when you use your burning hands.
I know you do, baby. 3d6.
Yep.
Okay. And add them together?
Uh-huh.
Shit.
Shoo!
Shoot. That's 8
8?
plus. Yeah.
8 total?
Uh,
Okay.
Wait, no. It's 8 with 6, right?
Uh-huh. So you rolled a d6 3 times, right, and gave the total?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got 8. Yeah.
All right. So he like is a little on fire and like screaming in pain. He's still alive and holding his weapon now. So that'll now bring us back to the main dude who sees this bear on top of him, and he's terrified. And he's just gonna wildly try to take some swings at the bear to try to fend him off. So he's gonna swing his mace twice, both at Torin's bear shape. First one misses. That's a 7. That's not enough. Well, what's your bear's armor
19.
class?
Yep.
Yeah, that's his hit points. But his armor class is 7. 11. So he rolled
Yeah.
a 7 plus 4. Oh no, that first one actually hit. So you're gonna take 5 points of damage as a bear.
Okay. I
And then
just
the
need to
second
remember
one.
that.
Yep, the second one hit as well. So you're actually down 10 points of health. So you're at 9 as your bear right now.
Okay. Cool. Oh, you can do that in the drop down.
Which will end his turn as he's trying to get you off. Zendri, that brings you back to your turn though.
I'm gonna do the inflict wounds.
Okay. Yeah, do it. So I think that's a thing I have to do. Let me check spells. Zendri spells inflict wounds. I just want to check. Just want to check.
It says.
Oh, you make a spell attack. Okay, so you're gonna roll a d20 and add 4 to it to see if you're able to grasp him with your touch.
You said add 4.
Add 4.
Oh, 24.
Yeah, more. Did you get a natural 20?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, nice, killed it. So you're.
Woo!
We're just gonna say you do max damage, because that's gonna be more than enough to kill this thing. So you do 30 points of necrotic damage, and you just kind of like walk up calmly to this thug, and you just kind of look up with your cat paw and just kind of like grasp it around his arm, and you just stare in his eyes with like just deep conviction. And suddenly his whole skin turns gray. He's now freaking out as he sees the black spread from his arms. And slowly he just turns to a corpse in front of you of like blackened, just gross necrotic skin, and just crumples to the ground dead.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's good.
Got this one taken care of, y'all.
Seducius, back to your turn. 2 left.
2 left.
Oi.
Oi.
Oi. B-O-I. Oi.
Boy!
Hey, boy.
What's up, boy?
Oi.
Y'all, the drink I just made right now is gross.
So I always get confused when I have a spell. It's like a big range. Like my range is like 60 feet for like infinite whispers, right? So like that would hit flux. That's just too big of a radius, right?
Say that. So you're which one are you trying to hit? B3?
B1 that's right in front of me.
Oh, the one right next to you. Okay. And so you want to use Dissonant Whispers? What's the
Yeah.
range on that? So the range on that is a 60 feet.
So I feel like
No,
if
it
would
only
hit-
Dissonant Whispers only targets one creature.
Oh,
It's not an
gotcha.
area spell. It just you pick someone and it hits that thing.
Damn, boy. Okay, Dissonant Whispers on B1.
All right. So he needs to do a Wisdom save 13. Oh, that was successful. So I think you're only going to do half damage. Yeah, but still roll your damage on that, which is 3d6. He's just going to take half of what you got.
Okay.
But he's pretty weak. You never know. Could still kill him. And I want to hear it on the bass, man. I want to hear what it sounds like.
Slapping the bass.
Slapping the bass.
I'm slapping the best.
And
This-
it's an 8.
8. All right. So on B1 you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he kept trying to make another step towards you, and as he's hearing this music just eerily come from your lute, he just like can't shake it. He's shaking his head. He's putting his ears up to his face, and he just like, he's like throwing up death now, and he basically dies on the ground.
That's how I want everyone to respond to my music.
Nailed it.
Spewing out of our mouths.
Yeah. So B3 is now up, and he just looks around and goes, "Ooh, well, it's not fucking worth it then, is it, mate?" And he just tries to take the fuck off.
No.
And so he's running. Flux, he's in your combat range, so you have an opportunity to take an opportunity attack and hit him because he's leaving your combat range. So do you want to try to hit him with your rapier or your sickle?
Yes, I do. I absolutely do.
So roll a d20. A rapier.
Oh, and a raper.
Those are the things we can't say on Twitch. So roll your d20 and add your hit bonus.
I got 16 plus
You just stuttered, that's all.
More than enough to hit. So now roll damage from your rapier and see if you can finish this guy off.
All right. I got a 5. No, I got a 7.
Oh yeah, more than enough. So he's just trying to take off, and as he goes, you just kind of like get your rapier under his ankle and just like lift him up a little bit and just like slam back down right to the ground and just end this guy as he's running away from you.
So
The band.
have at him.
Yes,
It's all yours
girl
now.
power.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
Got 'em down for
they're
you.
dead. So they're all dead. They're all dead around you. What would you guys like to do from here as you see these bodies of 4 corpses,
We
4
gotta
bandit
check for
corpses
our
around you?
coins, dude. We gotta
Yeah,
get our money
let's
back.
search-
Let's check that
search
coin.
them.
Money back, dude.
Yo, I hope they have our money. That was a
I'm
big.
telling you, Seducius, it wasn't them.
That's what you're telling me?
Mm-hmm. I know you're in denial.
Hey,
So
they came after us, so we deserve to at least try to loot them.
if anyone
Yes.
who's trying to like loot their bodies,
All of us.
all of you.
Me,
Still
I want my money back.
I'm definitely trying.
I would like everyone then to roll an investigation check.
Shoot. 20.
20.
What the? What?
Is there
I think
also
my
a
dice is broken. It's only giving me low numbers.
7?
Yeah.
Blame the dice, Seducius. It only gives you low numbers so you're talking to Helga. That's who you're meant to be with.
Sounds like a personal problem.
You know?
I was meant to be with?
I'm just saying. I just want to know who Lurks is in the chat. Like, I deeply want to know who that person is.
I want to know who a lot of these people are.
Yeah.
What are they
A
saying?
bot,
Nothing.
probably.
They're not saying anything. I just
Oh.
don't know who
It
they
might
are.
be Lurks, who are you?
I don't know if they're still watching because I don't get the difference between the viewers and the chat.
You can't see it from the
Sometimes
computer
the users are like bots and stuff.
Yeah.
To make sure we're not seeing
I've seen it. Yeah, I used to get like bot
I
followers
said
on
rapier.
As in a little sword.
Yeah.
So, Flux, on the 2 bandits around you, you find 30 gold pieces.
That. Yes. My money.
Yes. Get that money.
Zendri and Torin, how much did you roll?
Secure the bag, sis.
How much did I what?
How much did Zendri and Torin roll?
9.
I rolled 7. Hold on. Yeah, I rolled 7.
You are able to find the gold. It's pretty obvious, nothing too crazy. And it does look like it was the gold that got you. It was what was on them was enough to get you back up to what you had before.
Tight.
Oh, you guys
The
found your
universe
money.
is great.
Today's just why'd you give our gold away and what'd you get from
And then Seducius, did you roll as well?
Yeah, I got a 4.
4. You don't find anything.
I didn't lose anything, so I'm good.
I mean, it's not always about what you lost. Sometimes it's about what you could have had, but now you'll never know.
Helga, thank you.
Dead. I'm dead. So you seem to have recouped your gold. You're still a pretty good ways in this forest. You can't quite tell what time of day it is anymore. You've woken up. You've probably taken a good amount of damage. You've definitely lost dawn. You're past dawn. But you don't think going to the tower right now might make sense. So you can camp again. You can try to continue forward and just see what else is in these woods. Kind of up to you what you'd like to do.
If we camp, does that count as a rest? A short
Yeah,
rest or something?
so you got a couple options. I can go over the rest mechanic a little bit more here. So it's the middle of the day. You could take a long rest if you wanted to, which means at least 6 hours of sleep. And wake up whenever that puts you. But in the middle of the day, you can just pause for an hour and like make camp a bit, or just get some like a sit down. And as long as you stay for at least an hour, you can roll what are called hit dice. And hit dice let you recoup some health, but not necessarily everything. And you wouldn't recoup spell slots. So if you cast spells, you wouldn't get those back. But kind of up to you what you guys want to do with the rest of your time here. Again, it would be strange to take a long rest in the middle of the day. You can explore a little bit more. You could go to the tower and then rest there a bit, see if you notice anything before you enter. Kind of up to you what you guys want to do. You can go back to Phandalin and say fuck it. It's really anything. It's all your choice.
Who got hurt really bad? Does anyone actually need to rest?
I have 6 health as a normal.
Yeah, you guys got pretty fucked up on this. I was a little scared.
Maybe we take like an hour rest.
Yeah, let's do a little hour break.
Okay. So everyone hit short rest on your characters. And when you hit it, what you'll see is it gives you an option for like hit die. And if you check on one, you can then hit short rest. And whatever you like, so it says 1d8 plus 2. You can roll that, and whatever you get on that dice roll, you can add to your health. You can choose to roll as many as are there. It's kind of up to you how you want to do it.
Okay.
So I have a 1d10 1. So then that would make it 2.
Did it work?
I don't think it adds automatically. I think you have to add your health back.
Yeah.
So you just gotta roll the dice. Actually, Seducius, let me test on yours. Let me just see if it works. I don't think it does, but I'll check. So you're at what now? 15. And if I take a short rest and roll a hit die.
Where does it show?
I have like check boxes.
Yeah, so you hit the checkbox to mark it, and then you roll your hit dice. And I think you actually have to. Yeah, you have to add it manually.
Yeah. Okay.
So if I rolled a 7, I add a 1.
Uh-huh.
And then I type in 8 and hit heal?
Yes, exactly right. Nailed it.
Okay. Oh. What did that do? It didn't change anything.
You could do 3 of those? That's kind of crazy.
You can do up to 3, but it's up to 3 per long rest. So if you use all of them now and you need to take a short rest later, you won't be able to use them again. Does that make sense?
Oh, got it. Okay.
Zendri.
Okay.
So you were at 16 before you took your short rest, right?
Where am I looking? Because it says hit points 21 out of 21.
Oh, you're full. You got back up to full.
But I was there before.
Oh, you were? You should have been.
I guess I didn't take away the 4.
Refresh your screen, because I think I did it for you.
Yeah, it still says 21 out of 21.
That's right. What did you roll on your hit die?
7.
That would have taken you back up to full anyway.
Gotcha. Okay.
What's weird about that, I wonder if it just did that automatically. That's so strange. For the others, when you did it seem like it added it automatically for you?
No.
You had to do it. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. All right, yeah, I think we just didn't take the points down, but that's good. Cool.
Yeah.
I also can wild shape into a blue dragon.
You definitely cannot wild shape into a blue dragon.
You cannot? Oh.
Not yet. Your challenge rating level right now is I think a half. So you can only do creatures with a challenge rating of 1/2. Yeah, if you're looking at creatures,
Where do you see that?
if you're
Oh,
looking
it
at
just
creatures
says
that you
it
can,
says recover
yeah.
under my short rest category. I don't know.
If you
I just don't have that unlocked yet. I got.
correct, yeah, and I don't know. I mean, eventually, I think you will be able to turn into a blue dragon. Quite frankly, depending on how far you level up. But if you want to see what creatures you technically have available to you, if you go to your extra section, and you hit
Those ones.
manage extras, you'll see that there's like a whole area to add more, and you can choose in the category wild shape, and then pretty much any animal in here you can, as long as you think Torin has somehow seen them before.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, basically your wild shape rules are at this level up to a half challenge rating, and you would have had to have seen that creature somehow.
Okay. Alright, so let me go back then.
So yeah, those are all things you can add and tweak a little bit if you want to.
I might just do one little heal then instead of all three.
Okay. Kind of up to you. You can do 2, you can do 3, you can do 1.
I guess maybe do two. Let's do two. Let me roll. 5, 6.
I think some of your friends also have some healing abilities too. If you wanted to just let them heal you later, it's kind of up to you.
I can heal you.
I'm good. I got back up to 20 with those two.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's pretty strong. Cool.
I'm
So
doing
while
baby
you
check.
guys are resting, you're here, just kind of sitting down on a log a bit. Are you conversing with each other? Are you chatting? Are you just kind of being solitary? Walk me through what this rest sounds like for your characters.
I mean, for me at the moment, I'm a little salty because everyone blamed me for losing the money. I got fucked up and found the money. So I'm kind of solitary.
No one blamed you for losing money.
Pretty sure everyone blamed me for losing the money because I watched when the money was stolen.
Listen,
We blamed Helga.
I'm sorry if I blamed you, but I'm glad you were there to help us fight. I take back my accusation. I hope we're okay now because I helped save you. I mean, I saved your life, so yeah, you. I am talking to you. Yeah.
I'm the only one who does saving around here. I save everyone.
Apparently, that's not true.
Okay, sit down, Seducius.
I am sitting down.
Just sit down and play your songs.
Yeah.
Okay. Chill out. I'm
Fine.
trying to give you an apology. Take the apology and let's move on. Okay? I got my money back. You're alive. Do you need me to help? Do you need me to heal you?
No, I can heal myself.
Okay. So feel the attitude and let's chill.
Well, you know what? Tomorrow night, you're gonna be on freaking duty.
Oh.
You said duty.
I hope something gets stolen when you're on. See how you feel.
Oh, nothing gets past me, darling. I'm not over there trying to seduce everybody. I got fire in these hands, boy. Let's go.
I ignore that comment. Just
What are
play
you
my
gonna do?
louder.
What are you gonna do? Take you onto these woods? Let's go.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Sit there and play your
Them some fighting words.
Ugh. Can you believe him? I can't.
As per usual.
Doran, can you turn into a bear and like eat her or something? Getting on my nerves.
You don't have anybody taking your side right
I'm
now.
getting on your nerves. For the first time, I'm getting on your nerves. How does it feel, sir? How does it feel? You always backtracking us and setting us back. How does it feel? You like this now? Great. I got us all of our stuff back. I said I was sorry. Sit there and play. Just, you know what? Just be quiet.
Take it.
Play your little thing and take it. All right?
Yeah, take it.
See if I help you next
What's
time.
happening right now?
And
What?
the day in the life of Seducius, Flux, and Zendri. That's what's happening.
So you guys kind of banter on a bit. Sweet thoughts of Helga
Oh, Lord.
and her son Gregor.
Oh, Helga. miss you.
You miss who?
No one likes your music anyway. Just chill, okay? Just chill. Save it for your hoe back at the little tavern, okay? And for your new little stepson. I was about to give you my treasure that we were gonna find for your little boy. Come on.
Are you jealous, Fox?
Jealous of what? What's there to be jealous of? Nothing. Chill.
All right.
You wish I was jealous.
The only one who gets jealous around here is Helga.
Oh my god. Okay.
That's true.
Enough about Helga. Are we going to find a lighthouse? What's going on?
Well, we kind of got
maybe
steered
if you
off
punk
track.
asses could actually
paying
fight, you
attention.
would be sitting here resting like this. No. I'll have
Flux,
to save you again.
you were amazing. You were amazing, Flux. Thank you. Thank you for helping kill those guys. I appreciate it.
That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. Are you good now?
It's alright. I don't need no thanks either. I just save your ass all the time.
Thank you too.
Are we
Amazing.
good? Are we good? Are we good?
Yes, everyone's good.
Good God.
Can't wait to get back.
You're quiet. I can't hear you.
Good. Doran.
I'm back, babies.
They're beating up on me.
Wait, Nate, do I get to keep those 30 coins?
You found him.
Did I add those? Wait, hold.
Oh,
hold
did
here.
I add? I didn't.
Did
Oh,
I add that? Bro.
Yeah, you got to add that.
Back at.
I didn't add it either. I don't know how much I
You
got.
had 49 gold pieces before, so you found yours.
I thought I had 50.
You had 50. Zendri had 49 gold pieces.
I have 45.
Sick time.
We're just back to even, all even.
Yeah. And
I
then
got an extra 30.
did you? And then blah, 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 blah. Flux.
Wait,
Did
hold
you
on.
roll a natural
Yeah.
20 or just a 20?
I sure did.
A natural 20?
I sure did. Oh wait, so I have to take away the 15, huh?
Yes.
And then I add another 30, so it's 45.
Yes, you just add 15. So you were kind of searching the rest of the corpses as well, and you noticed something on the you noticed something around the neck of the big guy. Let me kind of describe it a little bit more. Hold on one second for me. Burp, 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 burp.
I don't have anything for you, chill. This isn't for you. Sit down. Sorry, I'm talking to my dog.
Oh, it's all good. I looked this up anyway. So you find this like gold necklace with a rather large amulet on it, and it's kind of like two hands clasping a ruby type stone in the center. You kind of go to pick it up as you take it off of this dude, and it has a sheen to it that seems unnatural.
Okay. Can I inspect it a little bit more?
Yeah, what are you looking for?
I just want to see if I can like open it in any sort of way, or if there's any sort of hidden. How big is it?
It's like a good maybe like 2 inches tall and like an inch wide. It's a little like taller than it is wide.
Okay, does it look like it could be opened at all?
No.
Like a. Okay.
It just looks like it's got this sheen on it.
Got it. Okay.
You kind of get the sense this thing is magical, but you're not sure what it does.
Sick. Okay.
You could try and make an Arcana check and see if you can kind of suss it out based on what you see.
Sure. Let's do
So roll an Arcana check for me.
Okay. What do I roll? D20.
And add your Arcana bonus.
Sick. I got 18.
18. So I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna put it in your inventory, so you see it. But this is what you've got.
What's it gonna be called? Amulet.
You'll see. It'll be pretty obvious. if you refresh in your equipment list, you should see something that looks new.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, so you got that mithril chainmail from what's his face? You doesn't seem like you were wearing it this whole time.
I wasn't, no.
Yeah, you should
Should
put
I
that on.
activate that on?
Yeah.
And the sending stones, am I only checking them when I'm using them, or am I checking them just whenever?
You can just leave them checked. It just means you have them equipped. That one mechanically won't make a huge difference because it doesn't it doesn't require attunement. You don't have to have a spot to it.
Yeah.
But you know,
This necklace, I'd actually wear that in real life.
it's cool, isn't it?
It's tight. I like that.
So you guys
I
kind of
use
like,
it as my birthstone.
hey, look at that, worked out well. So you guys are kind of sitting there bickering mostly with each other. Have you decided what you want to do? It's you know, if you look up, you can tell it's getting close to midday. It's probably like 11 to 12 somewhere in there. Tide might still be low enough to get there. It's hard to say. You're not really sure.
I mean, I think we should at least go and maybe check out the area so we know what we're getting into for when we go in at dawn. But maybe like surreptitiously or clandestinely.
Flux, I agree with you.
Sounds great.
We should suss it out a little bit. Just see what we're in for dawn.
So you guys kind of make way. I would like who's leading the pack here?
I'll lead the pack.
I'd like you to roll a survival check. See how quickly it takes you to get out of this forest.
D20 plus my survival.
Mhm.
7.
7?
Mhm.
So you're still just super disoriented, and you find yourself looping back to this place with dead bandits a few times. It takes you about 4 hours to actually get back to the high road, or the road out of Phandalin, and really to the high road crossing where you started. From there to get the rest of the way is going to probably take you another at least a couple hours. Yeah, probably closer to like 3 or 4 hours. So it's going to take you almost a whole other day to arrive, which you do, but you arrive really later in the evening. It's now, what would that be? It's probably about 7, 8 o'clock at night. And you are, you know, it's dark. It's a little harder to see. But as you get closer to this tower at nightfall, you notice this big stone structure. Um, it's a strange lighthouse for sure, because it doesn't seem to be built like any lighthouse you've noticed before. And emanating from the top of it is this eerie green glow.
Ooh.
And you
I
hear
see
the
that.
sounds of just water crashing on the cliffs below. As you kind of get to it, you can see that it's a cliff face that immediately kind of juts down, and there's a bit of a narrow pathway that goes to the stone structure that's out a little bit on kind of its own little island, that's connected by a rocky pathway, and a sheer cliff face kind of between that area that you'd have to kind of go down a little bit and then get onto this rocky pathway. In fact, I can show you a little bit. Hold on one second.
And I need visuals.
What app are you using? Did I ask you that already?
The one to show you?
Yeah.
It's called Encounter Plus.
And
Let me
you
get
can
it
just like put whatever picture you want with a grid on it.
It's actually a little bit more like involved than that. Truth be told, it gives you access to do like monster insertions, and then it tracks initiative for me, so I see like what order you guys are going in. It's what lets
Oh,
me
wow.
control your characters on the screen. It's pretty involved. It's actually a really good app. I definitely recommend it for anyone who's watching Twitch right now. Get Encounter Plus. Tower Storms.
That's awesome.
Okay, let's get that there, and then you can see. You. Okay, so you're kind of approaching from the right side of the screen here to where this cliff face is, and you can see if you kind of go down a little bit, the cliff face leads into kind of like a stony outcropping upon which this lighthouse stone structure is built.
Yeah, like a pier.
hmm It's let me see if I can show you a little bit more just to make it a little clearer. So I'll give you a loop in.
There's a little crab there.
There is, in fact,
It's a big crab to me, dude. Look how many squares it's taking up.
which will be something that shows up eventually. We'll see.
Let me
but,
talk to him, dude.
I'm gonna do a quick thing here real quick.
Songs to it.
La 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 la.
I'm gonna hide that real quick because I just want to set something up so you can kind of see it a little better.
And why can't we go to the freaking lighthouse right now? Because the waves are crashing too
So
hard?
yeah, the tide is high and it's crashing over and almost encompassing this rocky pathway. You can try to make it if you want to, but the tide is over. Like right now, where that crab is, you can't see the crab. It's all water. It's all sea.
Okay.
We should camp out though, but I like that we're searching it.
Yeah, I can shape water.
Okay, waterbender.
Moses over here?
Hi.
Dude, I'm freaking Moses.
Freaking Moana over here.
Says you instantly move, otherwise cheat. Up to
Do you
5
see
feet.
like Maui and freaking.
I can do it up to 5 feet. I don't know if that would help us.
Okay, so this is basically what you can see, and it's relatively bright in this area, even though it's nighttime, because this eerie glow is just lighting up this space, and you can see this outcropping further on. But this pathway that would normally be open in low tide is almost completely submerged, and the seas are rough and crashing against these rocks. Traversing this seems incredibly dangerous at this point.
Yeah, no, we need to chill. We need to. First of all, we need to not camp on the main road. Second of all, we need to wait till dawn when the tide is low. So I feel like we should set up camp kind of in towards the woods, closer to this area, but like more in the woods. What do you guys think?
I agree.
Sounds good.
Plus, it's like really cold right now.
I won't argue with you again.
Again.
Seducius can't stay watch though.
Again.
Yeah. I'm not be on guard tonight though. Need some beauty rest.
Okay. It's gonna take. You might be in a coma then. You're gonna need a coma, son.
So you guys are kind of right now where that red circle is in that area. And again, each of those hexes is about 5-ish miles across. So you want to just back up a little bit in between the road and the coastline?
Yeah, is there any like coverage or is this all flat land?
For the most part, it's plain. I mean, there's like an errant tree and stuff. Not like a cave or anything. You could try and go down the cliffs a little bit and hide out in the cliff faces. You know, it's about 60 to 80 feet down, and the sea hasn't risen entirely up there yet.
Yeah, what do you guys think? This tide is pretty high. I don't know. Do you guys want to keep searching for like a cliff that we can hide into, or do you want to just stay above water?
Yeah, we can stay above water. I think would be good, probably.
All right. Well, we need someone that's really responsible to watch over us tonight.
You seem responsible, Flux.
Great. You know what? You're right. I am. Maybe I will keep watch tonight so that you can get your beauty rest. Don't know how much that's going to help, but. It's hard to be so mean. I can't be that mean to you. Actually, it's coming really easy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I try to defend you any other time you get roasted, but now it's my turn.
Now he's mad. So go ahead and roll a perception check for me as everyone else kind of goes off.
Me?
Uh-huh.
Obviously. 21.
21. And so just so I know again, where did you guys decide to stay? Are you at the cliff face?
Rigged, dude.
Yeah, we're on the grassy knoll.
Okay. So as you're kind of above that area, you start to hear a bit of a skittering, and then like a it kind of sounds like a clattering coming towards you.
That fucking chipmunk.
It's the lobstrosities.
And as you're kind of looking, you start to see a pinkish shape come out of the darkness and up the cliff
Let's go.
face as it sees where you are.
Yo.
And as it's approaching you, you see a huge crab strangely walk directly towards you.
Well, it's because I'm a Cancer in real life, so let's go.
I would like you to roll an insight check.
All right. That's a D20 and then my insight, yes?
Mhm.
Still D20? Oh, it's always D20. 15 total.
15 total. This strange, this crab that somehow no lasers. This crab.
I was wondering what that would look
This crab that would normally not approach people on its own is somehow walking to you, and it seems to be more
Is it
intelligent
drawn to me?
than a normal crab.
Hmm.
And he kind of walks up.
You'll
And
mark 'em.
All right. I'm going to wake up my buddy Torin if that's...
Yeah.
Are you trying to attack this crab? Are you trying to fight this crab?
No.
No, we're trying to
being
talk to this
hostile.
crab.
And, like, listen, I'm kind of tired. I'm not trying to get in a fight with no giant-ass crab. So, I'm going to wake up my homie Torin and see if he can, like, telepathically talk to my dude over here. I want to let it know that I come in peace.
So he sees
and
you.
I need as much info as possible.
He sees you kind of say that. The crab sees you say that to Torin, and he goes, kind of like over his shoulder. Well, excuse me. Well met. Yes, my name is Sir Crabsus, and I'm actually here to assist you, I believe, in this particular endeavor you seem to have partaken.
You have a monocle on or what?
He does not. He does not have a monocle. He just has this voice.
I want him to have like a pimp cane too.
Yes. May I ask, indeed, why you seem to be perched so close to my abode here nearby? Yes.
Torin, can you tell him that we got word that the lighthouse is now lit after not being lit for some time, and that we,
Just to
Can
be,
hear you.
yeah, just to be clear, the
he can-
crab is speaking common.
Oh, he's talking to me.
He's talking to you.
So
How much
he's
have I had to
speaking
drink?
English.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm absolutely capable of speaking to you. I'd love to know more about why you're in this particular area. Yes.
Yeah. I'm just checking to make sure that I'm not hallucinating because I'm pretty tired and we've been in some shenanigans. Today.
Well, you are not dreaming. No, I could pinch you if you want. I'm actually quite good at that. Yes.
No. I'm good. I've been pinched enough by members of my crew today.
Indeed, that one there looks a little handsy. Yes, and he points to the Asimar over in the corner.
Listen, well, that's another story for another day.
Well, of course.
Anyways,
Ah.
yeah. Well, I'm glad. I just want to let you know, we're not here to hurt you at all.
Excellent.
We're here because we've heard that this lighthouse has been lit and it hasn't been lit for a while, and there's just a green light and this green like orb or something coming from the water, and we're here to just kind of check it out. We're from Fandolin, and we want to make sure that the people of that town are safe. So we're just really here to just check things out and make sure everybody's okay.
Oh, that's quite kind of all of you. Oh, in fact, I have been looking for quite such group. Most folks see me and assume I'm either food or unfriendly, but I'm quite nice, as you can tell. There's actually quite a bit of things that I can help you with, but of course, I would need something in return. You see.
Okay, well, we'd be happy to help out. Let's talk about this for a little bit.
Well,
what would you like in return?
Yes, of course. That is quite a fair answer that you've got asking coming here for sure. As you can tell, not most crabs are able to converse with you in this way. Yes. So I was actually given this this wonderful ability by quite a special person, a sea elf named Moral, in ancient times. But she is asked to put her soul to rest. You see, this magic that you're seeing is unnatural, and it actually is quite a terrible curse that has been laid upon my mistress, who gave me this skill, and I endeavor to help her and put her body to rest.
Well, I'm really sorry to hear about your friend, the sea elf. Where's her body?
Well, nearby, actually, right before you see the giant stone structure there, there's a cave on the causeway. And if you go there, you'll actually see her. I'm sure you'll be able to suss out what needs to happen and possibly help us out. Yes.
Us?
Well, me and Miral. Yes, the sea elf.
Got it. Okay.
The dead
I'm
sea elf
fine.
haunting.
She's
the-
still alive. Oh,
No, she's dead. Her just we would like to put her soul to rest. You see, she's been cursed
I see.
to live a life of undeath, which is quite horrid. You can tell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I could only imagine.
Of course.
So, yeah. All right. Well, what is it that you need from us to help put her soul to rest? Can you elaborate a little more on how we can help you?
As you can see,
I'm
that I do not
specific.
know. It does go a little bit beyond the intelligence of a mere crab. But perhaps Miral can tell you more if you go down to see her. But not now. No, not now. It's very dangerous there now. Don't go now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You would
Is it
die, and I would not want
possibly
you
in
to
the
die.
morning? No, I don't want to die either.
Yes, the
I'm
morning
gonna
would be a
think
much finer choice. Yes, a much finer choice.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
Wise.
Well, I'm keeping
Quite
watch
wise.
now.
Quite wise.
Yeah. Okay. I'm keeping watch now. But when we wake up, I will need to converse with my crew before we actually make a decision. But I want to help you.
Yeah.
But let's.
And I
just
can be of
see-
help to you, of course. I know this area. I've lived
Wonderful.
here quite my entire life. All 13 years of my entire life I've lived here.
Love it. Well, I'm happy to have met you. But let's.
Yes,
get
Sir
some rest
Crabasus.
and
Sir
we'll-
Crabasus, if you could. And I don't know
Sir
your name.
Crabasus.
How unkind of me. I'm so
My-
sorry. I do not mean to be impolite.
That's okay. Not a problem. I'm actually really tired, but my name's Flux.
Hi, Flux. That's an odd name.
It is.
I've
but-
never quite met anyone like you. You have skin similar to mine.
Yeah. Maybe that's why we're getting along.
I believe so, yes. Quite right. Quite right.
All right. Well, good. So let's get some rest, and I'll talk to my team when everybody wakes up. Okay?
Okay, so you would not like to know any other information about the location we're possibly
Oh,
storming in the
sure.
morning?
Sure. Yeah. Actually, as much as you can about this lighthouse area.
Absolutely. Well, as it appears, there are actually evil harpies that nest atop this rocky outcropping there, near the south end of the tower. I would be conscientious that you may have to defeat these harpies. They are quite horrid.
Did you say harpies?
Harpies, yes, harpies. H
Okay.
H A R P I E S harpies.
I got it. Don't hurt yourself.
He said
I don't
H.
want you to get hurt. Okay. What else? What are we gonna need to be able to survive this mission?
Well,
we
if
choose
you are
to
if
go
you
in a
are
group?
capable of swimming quite well, like myself, quite right. That is, after all, about the environment I'm from. There are indeed shipwrecks that litter this area. I've seen many of them crash as of late, as the tower has begun to become activated again, and there's treasure there, and I could perhaps fetch some of the treasure for you. If
Yeah.
if things work out well with Miral, I would just be cautious of going into the waters on your own. There's several sharks. It's quite a dangerous place, especially for me. Sharks do enjoy a bit of crab meat, you know. There's actually one quite large large shark named Daggermaw. Daggermaw. He's quite a villain. I do not appreciate him. Not one bit.
Well, listen. I'll make sure, or we'll do our best as a group to make sure that you stay safe. But thank you for giving me that.
Oh, you're very
information.
welcome.
I think we'll be really interested in actually using your help. Should we be able to come to an agreement with your elf friend?
Oh, of course. I'm so excited for what's about to happen in this endeavor. Thank you, Lady Flux, for being so kind. And he does like a weird little like crab bow.
Oh, thank you so much for being so kind and not attacking me. I've had my fair share today, so.
No, I wouldn't attack you unless you wanted me to. Pitch.
Well, we can talk later.
Yes. I would be quite enjoyable. Oh, I'm blushing. You can't tell because I'm pink, but still, I'm blushing. And he
Well, I'm red, so I understand completely.
quite. So he kind of does his little bow again and saunters off, and he says, "I'll see you in the morning then. Good night. Fair Lady Flux.
See you
And
in the
he
morning.
walks down the hillside.
I think that's my new favorite character.
Yeah, same. I agree.
I want to recruit Sir Kravis.
Me too. I feel like you should join our crew.
Indeed. Indeed, folks. Yes. So you continue on with it, right?
I got a crab.
That's right. You keep giving me these characters and I have to figure out voices for. The squirrel was ad-libbed. That was not part of the quest.
I am proud of you, Nate.
Indeed.
Fantastical.
So it is the morning now, and you've woken. You can all hit long rest if you'd like to recoup anything else that you have on your day.
Word.
Beauty restored.
Okay.
That is a button that is actually part of Seducius's
Yeah.
bit. I will say, I'm just a little disappointed there weren't enough viewers to just partake in Sir Kravis.
I know.
So
We need to just record it and
it's recorded. It'll be saved for
animation.
propriety.
perfect.
Can I like take a clip and like post it? Can I
I'll-
make a clip?
Yeah, you could. I
Can we
mean,
just put?
Do it.
Can we just make it Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob and just have it be?
Mr. Krabs isn't classy enough. He's too much of a jerk. Kravis is quite the gentleman. He's very nice and kind and polite.
I love him. I love him. Yeah.
Just so everyone knows too, that isn't written in the adventure guide.
I want Kravis' merch. I need like a T-shirt or a plush or something.
Right.
I need a hat. I need a pin. I need to put one on my backpack. I need patches.
Maybe a Twitter trend for shipping Flux and Kravis over here.
Would be called Fluxuses or Crux.
Either one. You know, the children of
Right.
Flux and Krabisis. So it's now dawn. You've woken up quite early. You can now really see why you were recommended to come at low tide. The causeway that separates this space is definitely traversable. And you can kind of see that along the causeway there are some taller cliff faces which seem like they could hold a cave system. That is where Sir Krabisis did say Moral, the long dead sea elf, is still located and haunting that particular area. You got to, it does kind of take you down a bit. It's very narrow. It's only about maybe 5 feet across. You have to walk single file, but you can start to make your way across into the tower if you so choose at this point.
Have I filled the team in yet
That's up to you.
on what I learned? Okay, I want to fill them in. Hey guys. Good
Yo.
morning, by the way. Everything's been safe, but last night I met somebody. His name is Mr. Kravisis. He's a gigantic crab who actually speaks our tongue, which is great. I thought I was gonna have to wake you up, Torn, but hey, you got some more sleep. You took some
great.
hits yesterday. And he's actually willing to help us out so long as we help him out with something that he needs. So he's got a ghost friend, a dead sea elf, who's haunting this tower causeway area. And he'd like our help in putting her soul to rest. I let him know that I'd think about it and talk to you guys about it in the morning, but I'd love to help him out. He seems to think there's been shipwrecks and that there's treasure in there, and he'd be able to help us out, and he'd protect us against like sharks and whatnot, and he could swim and gather that for us. But he seems really kind. He wasn't trying to attack me, so I feel like I can trust this guy. What do you guys think? What do you guys want to do?
Have you been drinking out of my flask, Flux?
Seducious, I would
Trust
never touch
it.
anything
I
else that
trust it.
your mouth.
You talked to a crab last night.
Okay, listen, you've talked to uglier.
Like a little tiny crab. You were
No,
speaking.
darling.
She said
No.
a big crab.
He's huge.
Ginormous.
You know what
I've seen him.
You saw him, Torin?
Yeah, I've seen
Shoot.
things like
See?
this. It's
See?
just a common crab, dude, that can talk. It's huge.
Alright. I believe Torn. All right, Flux. We can go find this crab boyfriend of yours. But better not get killed.
First of all, I can't promise that. Second of all, Mr. Kravis is more beautiful than anything you've ever touched. So, and he's kinder. So,
I will be the judge of that, Flux. I've touched many a thing in my day. Many.
all right. What do you guys think? You down?
I'm down.
Yeah, I'm down.
All right.
Let's find the crab.
So you guys kind of walk back down towards the cliff face, and now that it's daytime, you can really see what's in front of you really well. Below the high cliff that are hugging the coastline, there's this outcropping of rock that you saw earlier, and this narrow causeway that's connecting the beach to you and this outcropping. Atop this outcropping is a huge stone building that's surmounted by this tower that I guess you think is the lighthouse. And even in the daylight, you can tell there's this eerie green light pulsing from the beacon, kind of shining westward out towards sea. And as you kind of get closer and you start making your way down this causeway, kind of down the steps, you see that the green light is pulsing. And with every pulse, you hear like almost a heartbeat, like a very faint, slow beating heartbeat with the pulse of the green light. So you kind of continue down, and as you kind of continue down the first few steps, you do see along the beach a giant crab, just kind of chilling down there, and he's kind of facing outward toward the sea.
Hey guys, there he is. Let me call him. Hey, Mr. Kravisus, are you there?
Oh yes, oh, it's my friend Flux from the other night. Welcome back. I'm so glad you actually arrived. I was a little worried there, the late start for, I guess, the non-crustacean of you, but no worries. Ha-ha! In either case, onward, yes?
Yes, I spoke to my team. This is Torin, Seducius, and Zendri. We're going to help you out, actually. So can you give us some more information? Can you fill them in on what's going on with your elf friend?
Of course. Happy to. I cannot share more than what I've shared the previous night with you. I don't know much more. But as I said, there are evil harpies that infest this area, and I would certainly be cautious. Not the place to, what's the word? Huggery-duggery, but nonetheless, certainly something that you would want to keep an eye out for. Those harpies, quite vicious. They've been known to eat a crab or two. But also in the waters below, there are several sharks. I would consider it quite a dangerous location. There's one large shark named Daggermaw. He's tried to take a couple of bites out of me before, but I'm quite the wily crab. Yes. And this may be just for you, Flux, but I'll share with your team if you think they are trustworthy folks.
Yeah, they are.
Well, I did promise if you help my mistress, I will sneak out to one of the shipwrecks for you and gain quite the treasure, whatever treasure I can find.
Guys?
Holy shit.
I told you.
Yep. Keeping my mouth shut for once.
Yes, quite the shrimp droppings. I know I'm rather strange.
Did you say shrimp dropping?
I did. That's sorry. That's a little bit of crab humor.
Stupid. All right, let's get them cakes.
I got nothing. Let's go.
Hey.
Or supposed to kill these sharks or what?
He said that there are harpies down there, so you never know what you might find. It might be your next wife.
Yeah, they're usually.
At this point, I would believe anything.
I know. Let's go.
So you guys kind of continue on. He goes, "Huzzah! Onward!" as you guys go. And you kind of walk down. You notice as you approach, like the first kind of like big landmark along this causeway is a like natural natural tunnel out of like a pillar of rock about 30 feet tall, and it's damp from the sea as it kind of sprays along it, and you see this 8-foot high cave kind of entrance encrusted with lichen, kind of connected inside this kind of archway. This arch is almost a tunnel, it's so wide. And you can kind of go into this little tunnel underneath it and go into this cave system inside.
You guys ready to go in through this cave?
Yeah.
All right, let's proceed.
Let's do it.
So you walk in this cave, and as you kind of start to cluster into this area, kind of slowly as you go, you feel this sudden rush of cold, and then just this like haunting, just as it like circles, and you see this shape kind of like form into this humanoid feminine figure that almost seems to be floating underwater in midair. And as you inspect her, she's got this like hauntingly beautiful face, but these just black eyes. Um, and she seems to be an elf with pointy ears, but she has gills and webbed hands and webbed feet in these spectral garments that are again like it's almost like she's floating underwater, but in the air in front of you. And she kind of looks at all of you and she starts to like get angry and kind of hiss at you and just like, who approaches?
His eye. Warren.
That is not a name I recognize.
Are you the dead elf that Mr. Krabs has been talking about?
Mr. Krabs.
So you found my servant. Indeed, I am. Have you come to aid in the endeavors?
Well, what do you need?
And she kind of looks around. I cannot share until I know that I can trust you.
We are very trustworthy. How can I show you our trust?
Do you commit to aiding me in ending this horrid existence that I am currently a part of?
I kill you again.
Killing me will not matter. I will just return. And return. And return as I have for centuries now.
I don't know how to help you exactly.
If you swear that you will aid me before I share what must be done, then I will.
You guys want to aid this ghosty thing? What?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, yes, we do want to aid.
My fairest lady elf, we would love nothing more than to aid you.
We're coming to aid you.
Here we go.
Okay.
I'm mesmerized by the beauty.
Is it dark in this cave?
You can see, but it is kind of. It's like dim. It's not quite dark. The light from outside does kind of seep in from the tunnel outside of it. So you can see enough. She seems to be kind of putting off a little bit of a glow herself. So you can make her out really well. So she kind of hears that you commit to aiding her, and she says, "Very well. If you will help in my plight, I will share with you what is happening." And she's going in and out of her like normal speech and this banshee speech that she's kind of coming in. Like you can hear her voice inflection changing. And she shares, I've heard the people of this age calling this place a lighthouse. It is anything but. This location is actually the Tower of Storms, a temple dedicated to the evil god Talos, the god of storms. An anchorite, a worshipper of Talos, Moeseko, murdered me and my kind at this place centuries ago. And has now taken over this area. By some unbeknownst means, he has been able to survive long and hard. He stole my focus, the source of my power long ago, a conch shell that I cannot be put to rest without. I need you to find however Moseko exists in these days. Recover my my conch shell, bring it here, and I will be able to finally put an end to this horrid undeath. And she kind of again spins around the room in this like this haunting scream, just this like ah, as she like goes through and is eerily putting out noise as she like circles around.
All right.
We will
Yeah,
help
I see.
find your conch shell. I don't know what that is, but we're gonna find it.
You would know what a conch shell is. It's like think of those like Hawaiian
Like
horn
those big shells.
Mhm.
Okay.
Like that puka necklace you wear.
Okay. So did she disappear? She's just spinning around the room.
She's still there. She's waiting
wanna
for a little bit more.
Yeah, let's ask some questions. Do you want to show us where you think you go?
I do not know where it would be inside the tower, but I'm certain it is there inside. Perhaps look for the source of the glow, and it may direct you to Mesco.
Okay. Where are we on the map right now?
You're in here. I can mark it for you. You are in this little cave.
Oh, got it. Okay. So we need to continue onward, basically.
Yes.
Okay. Is the fastest way to continue through here and go into the cave, my lady?
Yes. Follow the rest of the causeway up and into the tower. But I warn you, I will not be belittled, and I will not be lied to. Flee, and I will end your flee.
Wow. What do you guys think?
Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
I say we do it. Let's go follow the path. Let's go to the tower.
So you kind of continue onward as you go, and you're walking up these deep kind of steep cliffs, excuse me, that are kind of hewn into the side of the cliff. There are steps, but the steps aren't like stones that were placed. They were just straight up carved into the cliff face here. They've been eroded over time. Um, the climb is a little tough. You're moving kind of slowly, but as you get up, you do notice a flatter area that kind of opens up into these like really thick stone walls, and the stone seems to be cut from a different stone than the cliff itself. Let me open up a little bit more for you so you can see it. And so you can see you can probably see a little bit more, at least of the walls where they end. So you can see about that much now, and you've walked up these steps and kind of landed here. And as you land there, you suddenly all hear around you just this as like these like evil seagull sounding noises are made around you. And I think that's where we're gonna end tonight, everyone.
Okay.
Because there's a pretty good chunk left in this tower still.
That's pretty eventful, though. We did a lot of stuff.
Hey, you did a
It
pretty
just
good amount.
reminds me of Arrested Development when I'm trying to do the chicken stuff.
Oh yeah.
The noise I was going for. Has anyone seen what was it, Babes in Toyland?
Uh-huh.
That like old school
The
Christmas
Robin
movie.
Williams.
Uh-huh.
No,
Like, I think it's Tim Curry actually.
yeah, it is.
The like the evil crows in that is the sound I had in my brain.
That's funny.
Well,
Good job.
cool. So we will pick up here next time. So
Okay.
keep everyone can hit a long rest because you've restored. And then just remind me as soon as we come back, we're in combat.
I like it. Let's go, babies.
Let's go.
So, and when we come back,
Where's our freaking crab friend?
He's staying on the shore. Mr. Krabasis is not a fighter.
Dude, I want Miss
He's a
Crassus to
lover.
get up in there, dude.
He is a lover, not a fighter. He's very sensitive.
Oh,
I like him.
a crab in my own image.
Don't take him from me. Try to steal him from me. We'll fight. I'll fight you, boy.
Yeah, I love Mr. Krabs.
So good.
Saw him first.
Huzzah!
Hi-ya.
Step of nightmares.
What would have happened in that one battle if literally one of us died? Is that over? Is there like?
For that character, yeah, probably.
Oh my
And
god.
here's so sometimes it's fun to share a little bit of the context because you don't always get to see behind the screen, right? That was all bullshit. I made that up on the spot for two reasons. One, you gotta make travel mean something. You can't just like appear at a spot, and then what's the point of it being far away? So
Yeah,
sometimes, depending on perception checks, they might go good, they might go bad. Like just because you got a low perception doesn't mean something bad happened. It could have mean you didn't notice something really good that would have happened, right? So I decide if it's just you missed out on something really cool, or if something bad happened to you. In this case, it was something bad happened to you. Um, and I needed to stretch out the adventure a little bit because the Tower of Storms was not prepared today. I did not think that's where you guys were going to go. So I didn't have. I had none of the material. I don't know what's happened. I literally don't know what the next steps are.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
fascinating.
that's so
Yes.
crazy.
Yeah.
Have you ever in your life seriously taken improvisation classes, or have you considered it?
I have considered it, but I've
You
never
should
done it.
definitely do this because you would be.
I think I would enjoy it a ton. I definitely think I would enjoy
You would enjoy it like
Yeah.
crazy.
But yeah, it was definitely a stall tactic to like, oh shit, what do I do? And then my stall tactic almost ended up killing you, and then I was like, well, fuck. But you guys do good. You guys are really starting to understand your characters a little more, which is nice.
Yeah.
I need to read up more because I want to know more about all the things I can do. I feel like I'm scratching the surface. So I'm gonna try and do some studying before next day.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot more like combos that you can do. I would encourage you guys to look at your spells and like read through this character links I sent you. I know they'd be kind of long, but here's the real truth. If you're gonna play D&D, you just got to be good at reading. Like you have to be okay with reading stuff.
Yeah.
I did send you some videos though that walk you through some basics as well that you can watch. And then I definitely recommend watching. It's long, but watching that Critical Role
Oh yeah, I want
stream
to
I
watch
showed
that
you.
one.
It's like
haven't
3-4
done it
hours, and it's not like at the start, so the storyline might not make sense. But you can see how they play the game a bit, and there is a bard character. There is like a couple of fighters in there. There's a paladin. They go through some of the steps. Um, so they're good to just kind of watch and get a sense of the cadence and stuff, um, which is helpful. So.
Hmm.
But it's fun.
Nice.
But you guys are doing good.
Yeah.
Like it's when you're new, everything is like, where do I look and stuff. So
Yeah.
no stress. But yeah, I would definitely recommend like read a little bit more on your character sheet and see a little bit more what bards can do and go from there, or whatever other characters you want to look through. But yes, death is a real thing, everyone. So you can die.
I was getting all nervous there. I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna die? Probably me.
That's good to know because maybe I'll like prioritize healing spells if people ever get like that low.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the roleplay element of it too. Like if you're a character who's a little bit more selfish, you might not heal someone else. Like the magic is in the roleplay, not so much the mechanics. The mechanics help you do the roleplay.
Yeah.
But like if you're kind of like this dude who hasn't really decided to trust Torin yet, this person you only met a couple days ago, you might not. It kind of depends. The tension is where the cool parts happen, I think. So.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But in either case, friends, I'll let you go to sleep. Good game tonight. Got a lot done.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
reconvene here on
See ya tomorrow.
on
Do
Wednesdays.
Wednesday again next week?
Yep.
Thanks, dude.